short clip by Bishop Doug Heward-Mills Ministries. Discover how God can change your life forever.
Missionary hardships. Missionary work today is very different from what it was 50 years ago. And yet there are still pioneer fields where heroism is demanded and persecution rages. Trails there are that have never been blazed, where suffering is the lot of those who venture. I want to remind the committee, said Mackay of Uganda. This is the missionary who was about to leave. He said, I want to remind the committee. I want to remind the committee. He said, I want to remind the committee, as he was leaving to Uganda, he said that within 6 months, they will probably hear that one of us is dead. One of us, at least, it may be I, will surely fall before that. But what I want to say is this. When the news comes, do not be cast down, but send somebody else immediately to fill the vacant place. When you hear that one of us is dead, immediately send somebody. That prediction was literally fulfilled. One by one, the members of Mackay's party died either of fever or were murdered by the natives. Until before long, he was alone left. Why let the hardships deter? Listen to what David Bernard said. He said, here am I, Lord. Send me to the ends of the earth. Send me to the rough, the savage pagans of the wilderness. Send me from all that is called comfort in this earth. Or earthly comfort, send me to death itself, if it be but in thy service and to promote thy kingdom. Send me to death, if it is in thy service and to promote thy kingdom. Then listen to Francis Xavier. When I went to Asimfosu, I saw a St. Francis Xavier Hospital at Asimfosu. This is what he said, this man, Francis Xavier. He said, yet more, oh my God, more toil, more agony, more suffering for thee. Hear what C.T. Studd said. If Jesus Christ be God and died for me, then no sacrifice can be too great for me to make for him. Even death itself can be glorious. David Livingstone said, death is a glorious event to one going to Jesus. Strange it would be if you read the life of Carey of India and keep back the tears. Even the directors of the East India Company, the father of all missions, he was opposed. Listen to the resolution that they wrote before he left. He said, the sending out of missionaries into our eastern possessions is the maddest, most extravagant, most costly, most indefensible project that has ever been suggested by a moonstruck fanatic. Somebody who has been struck by the moon. You must be struck by the moon to suggest that we should go as missionary. Such a scheme is pernicious, imprudent, useless, harmful, dangerous, profitless, and fantastic. To send out a missionary. People were opposed to it. It strikes against all reason and sound policy, and it brings the peace and safety of our possessions into peril. It may be of interest to know that in 1796, the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland passed the following resolution. They said, to spread the knowledge of the gospel amongst barbarous and heathen nations seems to be highly preposterous. You see, in 1796, people were opposed to sending the gospel. One speaker in the House of Commons said, I would rather see a band of devils let loose in India than a band of missionaries. People were opposed to missionary work. Such was the opposition to missions when Carey set forth. And yet in the midst of his deepest trials, his heart breaking, he was able to write as follows. Why is my soul disquieted? Things may turn out better than I expect. Everything is known to God. In Carey's day, their theologians believed that the gospel, send the gospel to every creature, was meant for the apostles only. Finally, when he did go, he was burdened with two unsympathetic women, his wife and her sister, 4 helpless children, and a colleague who was an eccentric and hopelessly in debt. Mercy. In addition, he was completely misunderstood by the society that sent him out, slandered by his enemies, and persecuted by the natives he had come to win. Did ever a man face the task of world evangelism under more unfavorable circumstances? Yet he stood the test and became the father of modern missions. Amen.